Oh my gosh, Dr. Deb, you're my favorite. Thank you
Oh,
for being here.
thank you so much. And you're my favorite. So, hey.
It's so fun. And I think it's such a beautiful reminder when we are in alignment, when we are doing what we love,
Yeah.
we just can't help but bump up against other people that are in alignment doing what they love. And then you find them and you meet them. And in 30 seconds, you decide you are my person. Let's hit record. And there we go.
Here we go. I love it. And I do agree with you. Totally.
Yeah,
I
it's so
totally agree.
good.
Yeah.
Mm,
Uh,
I cannot
exciting.
wait to hear everything that's on your heart. And I would love to start with by asking you, how are you saying yes to yourself in this season?
Well, I've learned to say yes to myself
Mm,
decades ago, which
yay
is
for
when I
you.
started this whole journey of mine that I started teaching other people. It's because I had to learn it first. So I love your question about saying yes to yourself instead of saying no to yourself.
Mhm.
Because I think that's what we do a lot is we end up saying no to a lot of things, almost like we're martyrs.
Right.
Oh, when I think of this season and I think of saying yes to myself, I think from the minute that I get up in the morning, I always think, number one, what do you need to get off of your heart? Because I like to write first thing in the morning, and I call it from Julia Cameron when she wrote her book, The Artist's Way, and she called it Morning Pages. This was
Yes.
decades ago. And I still follow the practice of writing whatever comes to your mind. It's not for anybody else. It's not even for you to ever read again, but it's for you to write out everything that's going on in your brain when you first wake up in the morning that might get in the way of the rest of your day. Now, I don't know about you, Wendy, but my brain's not that nice first thing in the morning. It just
Mm.
isn't. It just isn't.
Hmm.
So, this was a great thing to say yes to and to continue to say yes to because sometimes I'll get up and go, I don't want to do that today.
Eat. Well, there
But
you go. That's the first thing you get to write down.
and that's the first thing. And from there, it's even like, if I'm gonna go and I'm gonna move my body and I want to work and I want to feel better, there's a part of my brain that goes, you know what? I don't think I feel like that today. And this is how I think about saying yes. It's like
Yes.
talking to
Right.
myself. And part of
Yes.
myself is going, no. And the other part of myself, the one that I'm the most in control of, that
Mm.
I try to teach other people how to use, is that yes factor, how to say, nope, yes, we're going to do that too. And I
Mm.
always am so happy when I do these things where I do say yes to, I call them, they're opportunities to get stuff off
Totally.
my mind, to get my body moving, to do a lovely interview like this, to say yes to this. That's just the beginning. If you want me to give you some more, I can give you a lowdown. But just
I want everything that's on your heart, but I love what you have said so far.
okay.
I I think that I also have a morning practice
Do
and
you?
I do, and I'm obsessed with the person that I've become in the process.
Oh, mm-hmm.
It's been 5 years
Yeah.
and
Wonderful.
it starts very early in the morning. And sometimes when I tell people I get up at 4:45, they're like, oh my gosh,
Yes.
I can't do that. And it's like, well, there's something about seeing the results of a practice that makes whatever the resistance around doing the practice initially disappears, whether it's a new health practice, whether it's a morning practice,
Yeah.
whatever it is that we're doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I love what you said about, like you always just feel better. We never regret a morning routine or exercise. On the other side of it, it always feels like the best decision. What I'm wondering and what I would love to hear your thoughts about is we talk so much about listening to our body, listening to that alignment, listening to our inner wisdom.
Mhm.
How do you tell the difference between the thought that says, I don't feel like doing that right now? How is overriding that, or not overriding, but, speaking truth into that
Mhm.
different than isn't listening to my body? Wouldn't that have me not do this right now? Or are we like unpacking where sometimes our thoughts get a little tricky and keep us into their own definition of safety instead of the expansion that we're becoming?
Mhm. Well, I think we have a part of our brain, our primal part, that wants to stay in the cave. I
Mm,
think it's just evolution. I think we want to stay in the cave. We want to be safe, and we don't want to say yes to anything new.
mm,
And
yeah,
that primal part of the brain is something that we all have to learn how to get along with and understand it, because we have a smarter part of our brain, our prefrontal cortex, that we can train to do anything. Now, I think that primal part of our brain is important because sometimes it keeps us away from doing things we really shouldn't do.
sure.
And so, like, when you're asking me, well, how do you know the difference? And I think part of it is that through experience of living with yourself,
Mhm.
I have learned that number one, I think the yeses and the nos actually live inside of our bodies anyway as emotions.
Mm,
And I
yeah.
think that we can feel those. And like what I like to teach is to be so in tune to the emotions
Hmm.
that live in your body that you know your yeses and nos in your body, because that primal part of your brain's not going to tell you the truth about anything.
Anything.
But
Right.
the other part that is inside of our body, or our emotions, or I can say our soul or our
Mhm.
spirit, uses our emotions live there too. I mean,
Yes,
I could say God talks to us this way. I could say
totally.
you're inspired this way,
Mhm.
but it's actually a feeling in your body, not something that goes on in your head. And a yes to me, like when it's something that I need to do that my brain's saying, I don't think so. I actually feel something inside of me that feels like butterflies. So
Yeah.
there's a yes going on inside, and then the brain's going, no, 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 you shouldn't do that. Or like when I was going to leave my chiropractic practice.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
I mean, talk about wanting to stay in the cave.
Right.
But I had these butterflies inside of my body about the excitement of learning how to work with people in their minds and their bodies. So I started out
Mm,
as a chiropractor and moved into life coaching, which is kind of a unusual shift, I would say. But I wanted to marry the two of them.
right.
But it was the feeling in my body and learning these concepts, because if I listened to my mind, I wouldn't have done it. There
Sure.
was a million reasons not to do it.
Right. Oh,
But the
thank you.
feeling inside of my body was, please, please. And I think throughout our lives, especially in our lower half of our life, like say up to our 40s or 50s,
Sure.
I don't think we follow that very much. I think
Agreed.
we follow all the shoulds, what we've been
Yeah.
taught. And I don't think we know how to listen to that. And I think those of us who get to learn how to listen to it,
Yeah.
we listen to it because there's something going on that doesn't feel good inside of us, and we don't know what it is, and we
That's
don't know
right.
how to get there,
Exactly.
if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes perfect sense. It was my total experience. And I didn't realize it. I mean, I think God was so gracious in just having it be a graceful unfolding
Mm.
and following the breadcrumbs
Yes.
before the bigger awakening. because I was living, and this happened for me in early 2020. So I was living a life that was as happy as I knew to be. I had
Love it.
reached for the highest branch I could see, and it was fine. It was fine. I was fine.
Of
I
course, you
had
were
big
fine.
dreams in my heart, but they weren't going to happen. But gosh, it was fun to think about them. And for sure, I'm allowed to dream about them. I'm just not allowed to have them. But that's
Mm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
And, because my husband knows better, or my church knows better, or my parents know better. And
Exactly.
I was raised in an environment that confirmed that they knew better and that it would just be best for me to just hold those dreams to myself, but,
Yes.
settle down, little
Yes.
lady.
Yes.
And then I, the breadcrumbs led me to this beautiful opportunity to work with a coach in an online class. I had never taken anything like that before.
Mm-hmm.
And it was for entrepreneurs and getting paid to do what you love. And, the program promise was like Instagram strategy and, all these things that make you
Yeah.
sign. And then, but what it really was, which was, sell them what they want, give them what they need, was this inner child work. And she talked a lot about Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way, and
Yeah.
morning pages. And so I understand this practice of just free writing and getting it out of your body, which is something that I do as well. But
Fascinating.
what my biggest takeaway
Mm-hmm.
was in that class, in that time, which was 12 weeks, so it ended in mid-April of 2020.
Uh-huh.
So then, of course, we all had to pivot because everything that we had been taking the
Yeah. Of
course for was no longer a viable business. So it was, but it just was all perfect divine timing.
course.
But what my big takeaway was, I was waiting for somebody else to give me permission to live the life that I was dreaming about.
Yeah.
And again, I thought other people knew better. They either had more money or more information or
Yes.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that the person that I was waiting for was me.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned this concept of agency, that I am the deliberate creator of my experience
Mm-hmm.
and that I can be and do and have anything I desire. And that was something that was so transformational for me. I wasn't mad before.
Yeah.
I just,
You
like I
didn't
said, I
know.
reached for the highest branch I could see, but I had
That's
no
right.
idea that that tree was so tall. And then the fog lifted. I saw all these branches. I'm
Yeah.
climbing, and, a lot of the other people that were in my life weren't really excited about
Right.
this change. And I I gave myself permission
Mm-hmm.
to let that be okay. And I had some courageous conversations that ended relationships, including a marriage. I believe that my courage set both of us free.
Of course.
And there is, like you said, this process, this unlearning so that we can become, you have these beautiful butterflies in your on your earrings, and I know that's, you've mentioned it before, you had butterflies in your belly, but this gorgeous transformation.
Yes.
The caterpillar is not mad. It's all he knows is to go from leaf to leaf to leaf to leaf to leaf, and then one day his intuition says make a cocoon. And then there's mush in that transformation.
You are
And
right. And it's a mess.
right. And it can't be rushed,
And it cannot be
because
rushed.
if you rush it, it's not going to
There's no
survive.
butterfly.
That's right. And then We all
Here
know
you
what
are.
happens. And it's just so beautiful. And I love the way your transformation, your metamorphosis has worked as well, and how you are helping other people through that process.
Yes, it's very, very important, because I think that's why I left chiropractic was because I think I probably, had I known myself well enough in my 20s, I probably wouldn't have gone into chiropractic.
Okay.
But I didn't, and nobody even knew what a chiropractor was. And my husband was going to school as a chiropractor. And
Okay.
I had another career at that time in early childhood, which I
Okay.
still use a lot when I think about the brain, because
Sure.
I think children are like the primal brain, toddlers.
Right.
But at the time, I just thought it sounded interesting and so unique because it was my husband's idea. He says, "Why don't you come to school with me?"
Yeah.
And I'm going, "What?" I mean, I didn't it never crossed my mind. Okay, so 30 years later, doing that and working on people's bodies, when I really believe, and I think the reason that I was as successful as I was is because I am great talking to people and
Yes.
getting into their heads.
Yep.
And I believe that if I never even touched them,
Mm-hmm.
they probably would have healed anyway. But I don't want to take away from my chiropractic because I was I was busy doing all of that. But to just not have to touch bodies anymore and just get into people's heads in a way that could help transform them.
Right.
Because
Well, I mean, you're moving from body alignment to soul alignment.
there you go. And that was for me, it was like, oh, that sounds like a good thing as a chiropractor. And it was a
Mhm.
very new thing, and nobody even knew what it was. And I would get to be a doctor, and I'd be married to a doctor. And it just like, I mean, my
Right.
primal brain was going, yes, yeah, well, let's do that. And then I'm like, after a while in my 50s, it was like, what are we doing?
Right.
But I think that this stage of either perimenopause or menopause, this 45 to 55 year stage, is as important as adolescence. I think it's the
Mm.
same kind of thing, different
Yeah.
kind of hormones, but
Yeah.
kind of the same kind of questions come up again.
Sure.
And the only difference is that you have all of this experience. You don't have that in your 20s,
Right.
your late teens and 20s. You have no experience. You
Right.
think you know everything. But then we get here and it's like now you have all this experience. And for me, I could feel in my body that something wasn't right.
Yep.
Somebody was talking to me. I wasn't feeling butterflies.
Right.
I was feeling like I was getting hit in the stomach every day and I didn't know why. But it's
Mm.
like emotions live in our bodies
Yeah.
and they talk to us
Yeah.
if we're willing to feel them and listen to them. And I ended up getting into eating and food only because if you're eating when you're not hungry, you're not able to listen to these emotions that are talking to you about something.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I really got into it. And
Right. I
people
used
can lose
busyness.
weight, but I'm not there really to help them lose weight.
Hmm.
I'm trying to help them lose this burden.
Yep. Right. I mean, and some people substitute it with food. I quieted
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
inner
It is
wisdom
noise.
with busyness.
Same thing.
Mhm.
Same thing. I mean, eating isn't the only thing, is not
Right.
the only distraction. But it probably bothers women the most
Yep.
of anything that we could talk about weight.
100%.
And so I love getting, because there's so many people out there with this weight stuff going on because of our
Right.
culture, that it was such a great way to say, you want to really learn what's going on? The side
Yeah.
effect may be weight loss,
Right.
but that's not what we're actually doing.
Right.
We just want to learn, why do you eat? when you're not hungry.
Mm. And
And
what
it's,
are you finding in your work?
I am watching that the transformation that happens because there's so many people that are so intrigued by that question with me. Like,
It's a
I,
big question.
you think it's a big question. I just thought, like, doesn't everybody know to eat when they're hungry and stop when they're full?
I think it's a big answer.
It's a big answer. And
Yeah.
also, I think a lot of us, including myself,
Yeah.
didn't even know when I was hungry and didn't even know when I was full because I didn't even think about it.
Right.
I really just thought about what should I be eating and how can I keep my body thin.
Yeah.
And if that was me, I think I'm
Hmm.
just like everybody else. And it's like,
Totally.
so I think what I have found is that women are really curious, number one, to connect into their bodies just with hunger and fullness alone.
Right.
Because that's one basic mind body connection that you can work on a daily basis because you're going to
Right.
eat,
Yeah.
right? Like, even like when you think about busyness, I think it's not as motivating. Oh, are you too busy? Why don't you come over here but
Right.
you want to lose weight?
Yeah. Totally.
I mean, it's such a bothersome thing for people, but I love to get to, I, I want people to love themselves however they are. And I also want them to be able to take really good care of themselves.
Right. Right. And that's where the side effect is weight loss.
That's the side effect. But
Yeah.
it's like, can you connect to
Right.
what you're feeling into your body without trying to distract yourself in another way? And this weight loss thing, that's what's motivating.
Hmm.
But that's not what I'm trying to get to.
Right.
And
Right.
I think I'm pretty clear about it when I talk about it. But a lot of people just hire me because that weight thing
Yeah.
is such a big, big deal in this culture.
For sure. For sure. And at the time when our bodies are changing, for
Exactly. That's
them,
why
it's
I
like, what
love
the
it.
actual F? Come on now.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like I'm usually working with women who've been struggling with this connection their whole life.
Hmm.
So when they hit menopause, it's a big WTF. What is
Right.
going on here?
Yeah.
Right. But it's also a big wake up call to go, I'm not doing this anymore. This is
Right.
it. You know, there's this wisdom that comes in at this time.
It's so empowering.
It's so empowering. And I think you want to empower women. I think I want to empower women.
We are empowering women.
We are empowering women and we're changing a culture.
That's right. It's a divine feminine rising, and I am here for it.
I am here for it too, Wendy. I am really here for it. And I think we both have different ways of going about the same thing. But that's the beauty of all of this work when it's how to say yes to yourself. It's really how to connect into and
Mhm.
observe what's going on inside your own mind enough to be able to
Right.
differentiate between that primal part of your brain that doesn't want to come out of the cave and the
Yes.
smarter part of your brain that knows a lot, the one that has the big desires, the one that
Right.
reads all the stuff and says, oh, come on, let's do that. And then the primal goes, no, we can't afford to do, no, no, your
Right.
husband won't like it. I mean, like when
Right.
I was not wanting to practice chiropractic anymore, I was practicing with my husband for 30 years. It was like, it was like, how do I stop that? He
Right.
needs me, and so like really being able to hone in to the yes to myself, which ended up being yes to him too.
Oh, I have yet to experience my yes not having positive ripple effects to
Egg,
everyone. But at the same time, I find
yeah,
so many women that, in fact, I was just talking about this on a recent podcast.
yes,
So many women that want to do So I create and curate opportunities for women to say yes to themselves. I'm not just talking about it. I'm saying, and here is a menu of items to choose from.
Oh,
Summer solstice
Wendy.
white party, come to the bed and breakfast. Let's go on a culinary trip to Paris. Like, let's do all the things. It's so fun. And the resistance around
Yeah.
saying yes, it's
Yes.
not, yeah, they want to do it. It's okay, well, as long as no other person in my charge is going to be affected by my absence, then I can say yes. Like, okay, we've all created environments where that is not possible. Like
It's
we
true though.
people
It's
are
true.
going to be impacted. And do our children not hand us the birthday invitation because they've looked at our calendar and see how we're going to have to rearrange some? No. Does our spouse look at our calendar before business trips are? But no, that's not how. But yet, sometimes women think, I used to think, that everything else had to be perfect
That's
as
right.
if I were home for it to be okay for me to leave.
That's right.
How do
I
we
would say you said it.
dismantle
You said it,
this
lady.
nonsense?
Yeah.
How are you helping your clients dismantle that nonsense? Because it's not serving us. It's keeping us from the women we're becoming. You don't have to go to Paris with me. You don't even have to lose weight with Dr. Deb. But please, like, say yes to yourself in some big way and show yourself that this is a sustainable practice.
Yes. And so I think probably who's ever listening to us right now is saying yes to themselves.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. So if who's ever listening doesn't think they do that, they just did it. So congratulations to all our lovely listeners who's listening right now. You just
Hooray
said
for
yes.
you.
You said
We
yes.
will pop the champagne.
We can pop, and I would love to have a little glass of champagne right now.
It's all
However,
chilled, always. It's a house rule.
oh, I love that. So
Yes.
you asked me, so how do I help? What was the question you asked me now? I got,
How do you help clients dismantle that thought system that their yes can't have any potential negative effect on any other human or canine before they can say yes?
well, because of the type of coaching that I do, and would you believe that because there is food journaling involved, because I don't really care what people eat.
Right.
Really, I just have a number system so I can see when they're feeling physical hunger and when they're feeling emotional hunger.
Mm.
And for them to
Oh,
be able
right.
to
I
learn
heard
how to
someone say overeating is an indicator of underfeeling.
Oh, exactly.
Oh, so
That was a
good.
beautiful one.
Mm.
Exactly. Overeat. Wow, that is so good.
Isn't that good? I know.
Yeah, that was
My
really good.
friend Sharon told me, but I don't know who told her. But
Well, I've
it's all
used
of
it. I
ours.
think she got it from me.
I'm sure she did. I
I'm
think
sure
she
she
did
did.
say
Yeah,
Dr.
I'm
Deb.
pretty sure.
It
Yeah,
sounds like something you'd say.
it does. And so, like, especially, a lot of things come up at night for people. So a lot
Mm,
of women will say that they'll be eating really good during the day, but at nighttime.
okay.
So it's really interesting looking at food journals to see the emotional, I call them emotional holes when emotional hunger is showing up and
Mm,
how big is the hole.
mm,
So, you can have a little emotional hole. We call it a negative. It's on a scale from a -10 to a +10. So
okay.
your plus numbers are all positive emotions. So we're not tending to look at those when you're eating because you're usually not filling emotional positive holes. You're
Sure.
usually feeling emotional negative holes. However, there's a lot of women that say to me, no, 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 I'm happy when I'm doing that. And
Hmm.
I always like to show them how they're not
Right.
really paying attention. But in in answer to your question, that's how I coach people. Number one, to start connecting into those emotions. Okay, so if you weren't hungry and you were eating, why? What was going on? And it's not like a simple thing like, oh, I was just sad. I mean,
Mm,
sometimes it's that easy. Sometimes it
right.
takes a minute to figure that out. Sometimes it's because they're so busy during the day and they don't
Mm,
give themselves any time that they're actually think that they're giving them playtime at night and they're
mm,
using food as a way of playing,
mm.
which says a lot about, well, what's going on during your day and what are you thinking and what's running the show here.
Right.
So it's like when you ask me that, it's like I look at it through putting food in your mouth when you're not hungry. It brings up opportunities for me to point out emotions.
Mm,
And then for you to notice the emotions and where they are in your body. And you can either fill them, which is what people who work with me have been doing,
sure.
or you can start feeling them.
Oh, that's so good.
And listen, in the beginning, what would you rather do? Eat a nice big chocolate cookie or feel how sad you are?
I'll take the cookie for
Uh-huh.
100,
And,
please.
of course.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't want to be mad. It's like, well, of course you're going to take the chocolate chip cookie, sweetheart.
Right.
It's your way of trying to make yourself feel better and take care of yourself. It's not
Right.
really a negative thing because your brain thinks it's doing something nice.
Right. Right. Oh my gosh, it's
It's
so tricky in there.
It's so tricky, and a lot of people will say, "Well, it's just self-sabotage." And I don't think it's self-sabotage.
Okay.
I think it's your way of trying to take care of yourself because you don't know how to feel what's going on in there because who taught you?
Right. Right. Okay, I have a question for you,
Yeah.
and it's about cookies. I love
Yeah.
cookies.
Well, I love talking about
I
cookies.
love cookies,
I
and
want you
I
to love cookies. I
I
don't want you to
bake.
love cookies. I want you to like cookies. I don't think you need to love them.
That's true. I
I
do.
think,
I
you
like
love the
cookies.
people in your life, but put the
You're right.
food down to, you like it.
I know, I love food. I
Well, maybe
really
you can
do.
like food.
I do. I really love the experience of food, but I think what I
Eat.
love about food
Yes.
is I love expertly made and presented and passionately dreamed up
Yeah.
food in a beautiful restaurant with lots of glasses and a bunch of flatware that says we're going to be here for a while. And
Yes.
that is, there's just a sliver of a percentage that has to do with the food, right? Like it's the I love experience in that,
Right.
in that.
And I think it's really, really important because I'm working with people that don't allow themselves to enjoy that.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
if they're going to do something like that with a mentality of I'm overweight and I shouldn't be doing it, they can't ever really
Of
enjoy the
course. Enjoy
experience.
that. Right.
Right.
Yes.
So it's like one of the things that I teach is how to enjoy eating.
Right. And
Because people say I love food and I shouldn't. I go, "No, you
mm,
should. It's
yeah.
great. You should enjoy it, but you've got to use it in a way that's very mindful and make sure that what you're feeling, if you're not feeling physical hunger
Mhm.
and there's this enjoyment factor going on, then it becomes very mindful about enjoying it."
Right. Right. So that I totally get.
Good. It
Now,
sounds
fast
like it.
forward, I'm at home.
Yeah.
I'm not a cordon bleu trained chef. I do love to cook, but my schedule doesn't allow for the amount of time that it takes me to prepare a meal that I would like to eat
Uh-huh.
because I also go to bed at 8 p.m. because I get up at 4:45. So what
Okay.
happens is how we get to the cookies. I bake excellent cookies
Sounds
and
like it.
I eat the cookies that I
Uh-huh.
bake, which I love. Here is my very long way to a ham sandwich, long way to
Okay.
a cookie sandwich question.
Okay. All right.
So I'm obviously cookies are not what you eat when you're hungry. So I'm clearly eating them not when I'm hungry, but because I think that they taste really, 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 really good.
Yeah.
When you were saying talking about underfeeling, what came up for me, and I'm just sorry that it's taking so long. I'm formulating it because it's
Yeah.
happening in real time.
Yeah. Good.
um, I believe what just came up for me is that I am taking great pleasure in enjoying that good cookie,
Yeah.
and there aren't other opportunities for pleasure in
Oh,
my
that's,
experience. Yeah.
oh, well, that's
Yeah.
an
Isn't that
aha moment.
interesting? Yeah. Yeah. And because I am obsessed with the woman I'm becoming, like I actually am appreciative when something shadowy like that comes up. And I'm always like happy when I'm also recording. So, like, let's just get in there. I think that's a really interesting observation. And I would love to hear your thoughts, not to put you on the spot, but I
Yeah.
just think that that's fascinating.
Uh-huh. That you don't think you're getting enough pleasure. And so you're using this as an opportunity to get some pleasure.
I think
Is
so.
that what you said?
I think so.
Okay. I think it's really common, number
Mm.
one. And so when you ask me, how do you help people unfold this? This is
Yeah,
exactly how I do
right.
it.
Yeah, I know. It's so good.
Because it comes up when you start looking at specific eating things,
Hmm.
like the cookies,
Hmm.
right? So there is nothing wrong, in my opinion, with enjoying a good cookie. But if it's enjoyment, you're not filling an emotional hole.
Right.
And I think what you just figured out is that I'm not actually enjoying it as much as I'm just filling a hole,
Hmm.
which takes away from the enjoyment of enjoying the cookie.
Hmm.
So it's a good to know. And then it's like, and well, I mean, this could be a whole coaching session on why aren't you getting enough? What's happening that you're not allowing yourself to get enough pleasure throughout your day. What's going on? So there's things that are going to come up. We don't have to go through it now,
Right,
but
right.
there might be things that are coming up in your head. And through a little bit of coaching, because that's exactly what I do, I would be able to help you figure something out about pleasure because the brain, primal brain, loves pleasure and hates pain.
Hmm.
So it's always going to go for it, right? So, these cookies are in the you need some pleasure, sweetheart, and there are the cookies,
Right.
right?
And
Mhm.
ironically,
Mhm.
would cause extra weight, which would
Of
make
course.
whatever possibility for pleasure that involved another human
Mm.
also farther away.
I think you're right.
I
And I think
think
you're
we're
very
on to
aware.
something.
I think you're very, very aware, but it's like number one, if one of the things that I would do is first help you become very mindful about enjoying a cookie, like
Yeah,
the difference, because
totally.
we're not going to take cookies away. That's
Well, we
like, I'm
can't.
not
I
going
know
to
how to
say
make them.
you shouldn't eat cookies. You
Right.
got to stop eating cookies. You got to start losing weight.
Right.
Actually, I'd be saying you got to start learning how to enjoy cookies so you could lose weight.
Hmm.
Because as long as you think you can't eat cookies, you are going to eat cookies and you're not going to enjoy them and you're
Right.
probably going to end up with a weight issue because there's no
Totally.
connection to what's going on.
Right. And I
And
know
it doesn't even have to be cookies. It could be lettuce. It could be
exactly.
any food that
Exactly.
you're using where it's potentially filling an emotional hole.
Totally.
So for you, it's just like, oh my gosh, it would be so much fun to explore pleasure for you. And because so many people have that, that's why you do it.
Yeah,
But it's like, okay, so you're going to learn to do is how to find more pleasure in your life that actually helps you
totally.
and how to enjoy these delightful cookies that you're so good at making.
Yep. Yes. Yes. Okay. I would love to reflect back to you
Okay.
two things that you said that, in my opinion, make you a stellar coach.
Okay, great.
First
Say
thing
it.
you said, I'm going to say it. The first
Okay.
thing you said was, that is very common. And so you helped me not believe that I was a freak show that just like told some deep, dark, new to all of us in the moment secret on her podcast. And the other thing that you said,
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you said to me. Those are beautiful invitations to continue the work that is feeling uncomfortable. So I just want to reflect back to you. That was very beautiful. And I know you do this and I know you're great at it and all of those things.
Yeah.
And that was very touching to me.
I'm delighted that I could do that. And because that's why I'm here
Right.
to touch, for
Yep.
you to be able to touch, for you to help
Yeah.
you.
Because I can't heal what I can't feel.
Oh my, another
You
moment.
know, the mic drops. It's
But
totally
it's
true.
true.
It's totally true.
And if you're eating and filling emotional holes,
Yeah.
you don't even know you're doing it. You just think you can't control yourself around food and you're bad.
Right.
Not
Right.
you personally,
I
but
know. Right. Yeah. Because I freeze the dough and only bake one at a
I'm
time
just
because
saying
I'm smart.
overall, with this
Yes,
thing,
exactly. That's the
it
narrative.
becomes a way of punishing yourself. And like
Totally.
what I love to help people do is instead of not looking at it, let's
Hmm.
look at it.
Yes.
And
Play the
let's
tape
look at it
out.
without cutting you off or tearing you apart so you can't see it, because usually what we do to ourselves is we don't let ourselves express ourselves to ourselves because we're too
Mhm.
critical on ourselves.
Yep. And
So
we should know better.
my job is to not be critical
That's right.
so that you can open up to, hey, there maybe isn't anything wrong with me and this is pretty common. And oh, so now you're all the parts of your brain are going, what's going on?
Yeah. So good.
It's so good and it's
It
such a
is.
pleasure.
It's fascinating. And I love also what you said. It's not about the cookies, obviously. We
It's
know
not
this is
about the
about the
food. It's
cookies.
not about the food.
Because you can have this, it's how you feel while you're doing it, or
Amen.
how you don't feel while you're doing it.
Amen.
Like it can be, you can have the same effects if you're, like you said, eating lettuce. If you are not being kind to yourself while you're doing it, it has the nutritional value that you think you're getting is not being obtained
Well,
because
not only that,
energetically, right? It's just not a
well,
match.
not only that, it's if you're eating lettuce, because this is what will happen with a lot of people, including myself, is if I'm eating something healthy, then I don't think it matters if I go beyond my own fullness
Interesting. Okay.
because it's lettuce.
Right.
But if I'm going beyond my own fullness and I have a chart for a graph for how hungry you are and how full you are, so you can be
Mm.
hungry to a -10, which is starving, and you can be stuffed to a +10. But there's a lot of numbers in between.
Yeah.
And so I recommend eating between the twos, starting at a -2, stopping at a +2, because I think that's really just the way we're wired. We don't have to give numbers, but
Right.
unfortunately, we disconnect so much. We don't know when we're hungry and we don't know when we're full. So when we say we're hungry, what does that
Right.
mean?
Right.
Are you a -10?
Yeah.
Are you a -1? If you're at a -1, you'll be eating all day long saying you're hungry.
Hmm. Right.
Or you
Right.
can say, I'm full. What do you mean by full? Are you negative? Are you a +8?
Yeah.
And you're calling that full and that's okay? It's not.
Right.
So first we just have to distinguish these numbers and start connecting into what these numbers mean to us physically and emotionally. We
Yeah.
just start coming up with numbers just to get our brain doing something
Right.
that's connected to the body so that
Yes.
they can become friends again.
Yes.
And then it's like, okay, so what's going on? What's that emotional hole? Or why did I eat to a +4 when I know what a +2 is? Why did I
Right.
do that? Well, there's always a reason.
Right. And I love that these questions aren't rhetorical. Like they're
Right.
not like, why did you do that? What were you thinking?
Right.
It's like, no, why do you think you did that? What were you thinking? What were you not feeling, sweet Wendy? Like
Like that.
let's have a
Ex-
like I'm reparenting myself in
Mhm.
this sweet, tender moment. It's not
You are
I'm
right.
just in trouble by someone who doesn't get me.
It's all about the way in the work that I do, I call it self compassion. It's
Hmm.
learning how to be compassionate with yourself because most of us have been our worst critic and we only are good at criticizing ourselves. And so I can see with the work that you've already learned, because I can see how you talk to yourself, that that is what I teach is how to call yourself sweetheart
Yeah,
and how to teach your and how to treat yourself as if you were your most beloved, not your most hated, your
right.
most beloved.
Yeah,
And I think a lot of women think if they do that, they're going to just run off the charts. They're going to overeat, they're going to sleep all day. You know, I have to be like this to myself, or I'm just not going to. But actually, it would free you.
that's right. For sure. For
It's
sure.
freeing.
And, I think even when we tell ourselves, oh, well, if I didn't, I would never get out of bed or I would never stop. Okay, you might do that 1, 2 day. After 5 days,
You'd want to get out
bed,
of bed.
bed is boring. Like you're done being in bed. So you're not going to live in a van down by the river if you
And
like
that is the fear.
don't,
That is the fear of being nice to yourself. That's
right?
the fear,
Yep.
because
It's the
it's a
fear of,
training.
yes, it's the fear of even like, oh my gosh, I have to post on Instagram or whatever, and I don't feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell my clients, then don't. You will not have the desired result. You cannot create abundance from lack. So,
Mm-hmm. You're right.
my suggestion is absolutely do not post on Instagram when you do not feel like it.
Mm.
My suggestion is do something that sounds fun. And when you're in that happy place, if you feel like, ooh, I just had an idea for a post, just write it down. You don't have to post it right now, but you have it. And then when you have to do it, you've got something to pull from. But
Mm-hmm.
we
I
have
love
to
it.
be in that kinder place.
Yes,
We
we do.
can't, coming from a place of curiosity, you cannot be curious and furious at the same time. So if we are being curious, why do I
Yes.
think I did that? That's, that didn't feel good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. Well, I don't know. So anytime for me, another practice is, and my dear friend Sharon also, who told me that other thing,
Uh-huh.
said, like when I said, I don't know, she'll always ask, like, well, what do you know?
Right.
And then I can, again, do some morning pages, do some free writing of what do I know? I know I am a badass. That's what I know. I know that
Uh-huh.
everything is always working out for me. I know that I'm the deliberate creator of my experience. I know that, yeah, I
That's what you know.
did that thing and it didn't feel good. And now I'm going to make a different choice next time.
I
I
love
know
it.
how to course correct. There we go.
I love it. And I think the three words that are the biggest dream stealers are I don't know.
Mhm.
Because the way the brain works is when you say you don't know, your brain goes, oh, okay, well, then I don't have to look.
Yeah. Which is so fascinating.
It is fascinating. It really is fascinating because just like you have that I don't know thing, that's a big thing with me too, is when people say I don't know, I know they know.
Oh, for sure they know. They're afraid to
Something's
say
going
what the
on.
thing is. Yeah, I have a 12-year-old. She says, I don't know. I say, okay. And then I wait a minute and I said, all right, so what? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, I would like you to take a moment and take a deep
Oh,
breath
that's so great.
and find the answer because it's in there. I don't know. It's
Oh,
not an
lucky
answer.
her.
Oh,
Lucky her.
yeah.
Your
Well,
daughter's so
she
lucky to have you.
might not agree with you,
Well, she doesn't know yet,
but she
but
doesn't know yet. But yeah, but she will.
oh, she will.
And when she's dating someone who says they don't know, she'll say, okay, we'll take a minute. I'll be here. And then tell me. Because the answer is
That's
in
right.
there. I don't know is the only appropriate first time I ask, but the
Uh-huh.
second time, we're going to need an answer.
I love it.
And if the answer is I need more time, then please go and take the time and do what you need to do.
That's a whole lot better than I don't know.
Correct. These are life skills. And
Beautiful.
sometimes we are learning them at 57, and sometimes we are learning them at 12 or anywhere in between.
We are always, let's at least I hope I'm
Mm,
always learning
me
because
too.
nothing makes me feel more butterfly-y than learning something new.
Yes, expansion,
Expansion.
expansion and joy and freedom, and then more expansion and more
I love
joy
it.
and more freedom.
I
It's so
love it,
good. Oh
Wendy.
my
I
gosh.
love it.
I
It's
love you, Dr. Deb.
I love you too, Wendy. I do. It's been a wonderful time. I mean, I mean, it's kind of hard to believe that this was like an interview
Yeah,
because it just felt like two kindred souls talking about things that matter most to them. But I hope that it's helped people who are listening because we're both coming from the most honest place I think that we could both come from. So it's
I
just been
couldn't agree
it's been
more. It's
delightful.
such a joy. We're
Yeah.
both at work right now.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
what I'm saying.
crazy town.
I know, and that's what I mean, that's what we want for everybody, right? Is
Absolutely.
for them
Yes.
for whatever wherever it is, wherever you are, that how can you make your life more delightful?
Right. Like your beautiful sign behind you. Best day ever.
Best day ever.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, please tell everyone where they can find and follow you, how they can have more Dr. Deb in their life. They'll be
Well,
the
first
better
of
for
all, I
it.
have a podcast
Yay.
with many, many episodes. It's called Thinner Peace and Menopause and Beyond. And I
Mm,
call it thinner because what I'm saying is the inner peace. And I think you can lose weight and be a mess, or you
totally.
can lose weight from a peaceful place. If that's, I mean, I work with a lot of people who don't want to do weight loss, but they want to make peace with food,
Right.
with
Right.
cookies.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
So you can listen to that podcast. And I also created a quiz. And the quiz is all about helping identify your challenges to eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're full. So you can figure out, and
Mm,
I can teach it to you for free in the quiz, how to help yourself unbundle that challenge through a
mm.
tool so you can start connecting better to your body.
It's so good. It's connection,
It's
alignment.
connection. It's
It's
connection.
all we want, and it has ripple effects on our whole life. And the side effect could be weight loss.
It could be.
So good. Oh my gosh.
Oh, thank you,
Yay.
Wendy.
So where should we direct people? Is that on your website
You can go to
or
my
go
website.
straight to the podcast?
You can go straight to the podcast, or you can go to drdebbutler.com, which is the website. There's all
Perfect.
kinds of good stuff on there. But, I think that if you like what I'm saying and you want to know more, the podcast is a great place to start. And the quiz is a great place to start because if you like what you're hearing,
Absolutely.
it'll help you get started.
Yay. Well, we will link everything down in the show notes. Thank
Beautiful.
you so much for your time. I cannot wait to play with you again.
Thank you. I enjoyed playing with you too. And that's what we all want to do is do a lot more playing.
Absolutely.